I've never had the pleasure of going to Sri Lanka, but I did spend 5 months doing a charity project in Vellore in Tamil Nadu, so I learned a lot about the Tamil culture there. And I had a very good Tamil friend growing up, so I've always been very attuned to Tamil issues. And as someone who's attuned to Tamil issues, but just as a human being, I couldn't help but empathise with the terrible, terrible plight that your community faced in the bloody civil war in Sri Lanka. And nobody here in London who went through Parliament Square like I did to get to work day in, day out, could have failed to be moved by the amazing, peaceful and moving protest that you held day in, day out to raise your community's concerns and to raise your cause in Parliament and to the Prime Minister. You certainly do know how to run a protest, I can tell you that. Now, I stand here as a newly elected Conservative MP, and I'm proud to be a Conservative. And one of the reasons I'm proud to be a Conservative is because our Prime Minister, David Cameron, lived just over there, had a choice in 2013. He could have not gone to Chogam, he could have made his protest that way, or he could have gone there and seen the President and looked him in the eye and told him that his record on human rights wasn't acceptable. And that's what David Cameron did. And I'm very proud that he went there and spoke to the President. I'm proud he went there and went up to Jaffna and met Tamil people and heard your plight firsthand. I think, that's a great thing that he did. And it's great also that he led the international calls for an independent UN inquiry to look at the atrocities in Sri Lanka. Now, I know here there are many people who are disappointed that the report was delayed for 6 months. But as a lawyer, I know that it's important when a report is produced that its factual conclusions are unassailable, and that its conclusions in terms of what atrocities were committed are also unassailable, because that report will be your springboard to take further action. So if it's going to take an extra 6 months, it's going to take an extra 6 months, but let's make sure that the people producing that independent report get it right. Let's make sure that when that report is produced, it's responded to appropriately, and let's make sure that, as your parliamentary representatives from Conservative, Labour, Liberal Democrat, from any party, we're on your side, making sure that the people who perpetrated these awful atrocities are brought to justice, and that the peaceful protests that you've arranged over the last 6 years here and in Parliament Square are shown and are used as a springboard for a proper, international, democratic and fair outcome for people to be brought to justice for these terrible atrocities. You'll have my full support and those of my parliamentary colleagues. Thank you very much.